Welcome to What's in Your Bag Golf. Come in and check out the golf bag of a local Kansas City firefighter. Merry Christmas! Today we do have a special video today. We have Steve Pope, who is a local Kansas City firefighter. Now Steve has a YouTube channel called Firefighter Golf, and I really hope that you'll subscribe to it after watching this video. I intersperse clips from his channel onto mine, clips of him playing golf, clips of him getting fitted. Steve seeks to do through his channel is to raise awareness for the mental health of first responders. If you like what you see, please go over to his channel and subscribe. In the spring, when it gets warmer here, I'm going to be on his channel playing some golf with him too. So I think he has a really cool bag. As a reminder, before we get in the video, if you're watching this before January 1st, 2023, we are running a giveaway on What's in Your Bag Golf, and the details to enter that are in the last video. So after you finish this video, go to that video if you want to enter to win 3 Adele wedges that I will ship anywhere in the United States. As always, if you stay tuned to the end, I will chime back in with my favorite part of his bag. All right, we're here with Steve Pope. Steve is the founder of, in terms of YouTube, for Firefighter Golf, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and so Steve, before we get into your clubs, I really do want to give you some time to describe, why did you start this foundation? Why did you start this YouTube channel? What do you stand for?
All right, Jalen, first of all, thanks for reaching out to me to have me on your channel, because this is a way to network and help my mission grow, which is about bringing awareness to mental health for first responders and how serious a problem it is. Not only for first responders to be aware of it, but for the general public to know the things that we see every day. We live society's trauma, is the best way to put it.
Okay.
And the mental health side of it is, over time, the things I've seen over 26 years have built up. And it causes me to have issues with my family, whether it's anger, hypervigilance. I knew there was a problem with me, and I was changing, and I didn't like that I was changing. And I know there's other people out there, first responders, that are going through the same thing. I know that for a fact because they've contacted me for the 2.5 years I've been doing this. But at that time, in 2019, I knew there was more people like me. And so I decided to start this YouTube channel along with Instagram, along with the Facebook. So the social media blitz is what I call it, to put this out there and make it relevant all the time.
Yeah.
Because you never know who is going to see these videos.
Yeah.
And it might resonate with them.
Yeah.
So that is the reason behind Firefighter Golf, to bring awareness to mental health, but to also use the game of golf to help me decompress and reinvigorate, to recalibrate, to say.
Yeah.
And to get as many first responders out in the golf course as I can, to just be.
Yeah.
Get away.
Yeah.
Golf's frustrating, you know that, Jalen.
Yeah.
It also, I find pleasure in the fact that I'm out there with nature, trying to accomplish something. You have to focus on the game, the task at hand, and you forget about everything else. So this channel, this Firefighter Golf, as you see here with this head cover, grew into the First Responder Golf Foundation with the help of a golf professional here in town. Because the PGA of America does the PGA Hope, which is for military, and he suggested I start something for first responders.
Yeah.
And so I'm all in. And so the foundation's been around since April of 2021. It's had 2 tournaments where we raise most of the money to do what we need to do to pay green fees for first responders.
Okay.
But it's also an awareness thing.
Yeah.
For me to continue to do what I'm doing through the social media, you know, the awareness is the key, but golf is what hopefully will get more and more first responders out there to just help their mental status. We like to call it PAR, just like in golf, which is peers and rapport. And we always talk about your mental health being at par.
Okay.
Because bogey and double bogey is not good.
Yeah.
In golf, and it's not good
in life
for first responders in life. So if you get a birdie, great. Hopefully we've emptied that cup that filled up if we ran a bad call.
Sure.
A couple weeks ago, the shooting here in Kansas City, Kansas, at a teenage Halloween party.
Yeah.
You know, I have teenage kids, so I didn't see it, but I know those first responders that saw it have kids.
Yeah.
And that's the stuff that sticks with us. So that's what this is about. So thanks for letting me talk about it.
Sure. Yeah, I'd love to even go deeper into that. When you say, and it really resonates, we live society's traumas.
So you're saying like it's just the accumulation of the horrible things that you have to see in terms of the nature of doing your job that really kind of never leave you. Is that kind of right?
That's one of the perfect way to describe it. So to tell you a call that I ran recently when I got to this station, I've been here a year and a half. Ran a car wreck out here on the highway, 435, where a mother hit a Jersey barrier abutment and then a post.
Yeah.
And there was a 3-year-old kid in the car seat in the back. The 3-year-old survived, the mom's dead. But to see that, and then to see how the kid, is traumatized at 3 years old, doesn't know the mom's dead, is with strangers. That's the stuff that, we take in while we're still doing our job.
Yeah.
But when we get back to the station, that stuff, now we talk about it, especially with what I'm trying to do, but it's still there. It's filed away. It's called allostatic load. The cumulative effect of those things that we see.
Yeah.
That if people don't understand that that's what's causing you to change in your life, whether it's substance abuse or my story about anger issues, about yelling and screaming at my family for no reason over minuscule things, it's serious stuff. And, we talk about with the military having these problems. Now it's time to talk about first responders because we live society's trauma every day.
Yeah.
And military, God bless them, they do too when they bring that stuff home.
Yeah.
And they are getting help. Now it's time for us first responders to get the help that we need.
Yeah.
So we can, one, be better family members for our loved ones, but two, be better first responders for the public.
Sure. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing. I mean, that's really meaningful, and I'm glad that we have this time to hopefully promote your channel and to show just the greater public what you're trying to do. So let's get into your bag now. What would you like to start with your bag?
Well, I'm not someone that likes to warm up on the driving range a lot, so
okay.
I bought this orange whip for my high school kids that I coach, as well as for myself. There's some driving range for coaching where when the kids go play a course, they don't have a driving range.
Right.
So they can warm up with this. I take this, but I use this to warm up, helps build tempo, helps you stop from coming over the top. So I think it's a wonderful training aid.
Okay.
So I just carry it in my bag. And then my driver is a PXG Gen 5 driver.
Okay.
And the wonderful head cover that came with it, story through all this social media is it's your golf head cover. So reach out to them on Instagram and they can make you custom head covers. So it's a wonderful thing. They reached out to me. His wife is in mental health in like Indiana where they're from.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's a wonderful head cover. He's donated to the foundation tournament we auctioned off and stuff like that. So, but anyway, back to the club because that's what this is about.
Sure, yeah.
But that's in my bag too. So.
Well, is that available for people to purchase?
Yeah, you can. No, well, I don't have this on a website, but he can make these up for people if they wanted to.
Yeah. Okay.
So I could email him or message him through Instagram. But
sure.
Yeah, he's a wonderful guy. Reached out to me, and but anyway, here we are with the 0311 Gen 5 driver.
Yeah.
So I've had this now for a couple months. The shaft in it is the Acura Proto 65, and I got fit for this. Shaft. And let me say something about that. For years I did not get fit for a driver shaft, and I was all over the place with it. When you buy something off the shelf, the stock shafts, it's not fit for you. So go get fit. I know it's expensive. I know it costs a lot to, buy this $500 head, but then you get a $300 shaft and it's an $800 club.
Yeah.
But my dispersion is not out here; it's into here now.
Yeah.
We all make bad swings, but when you do make a swing that's decent, it's not going to be all over the place.
Sure.
So I would recommend people get fit for their whole bag.
Where did you go to get fit?
Golf MD here in Kansas City.
Okay.
Down in Olathe. Mike and those guys are wonderful. He's like in the top 100 in the country of fitters. So I recommend Mike.
So he fit that with you. Is it a stiff? Is it extra stiff?
It's a stiff shaft. And I go down there and get my specs checked every now and then so I can know that this shaft is still good for me at 51.
Sure.
I got fit when I was for this shaft probably 4 years ago.
Okay.
It still feels like it's for me when I go out and play, but I recommend going back and getting respect.
Yeah, yeah. How far do you hit that driver, would you say?
I was calibrating that the other day, honestly, out on the range, just trying to get an eye for myself. I think I hit it in the air, probably about 250 in the air.
Yeah.
And then whatever the rollout might be and conditions.
Depending on the conditions,
and, these faces are less spin anyway, so the ball is going to roll when it hits. So
yeah.
And at my age, at 51, I don't hit them high anymore. So, I'd say about 240 to 250 is the carry anymore.
So your game is to just put it in the fairway and then just get it on the green. Try to just keep it consistent, basically.
Right. My game is, especially as I've gotten older and you've gotten wiser in this game, is to one, keep it in play, but then you have to manage the golf course.
Right.
And that's something I always try to tell my high school kids is you can't just want to blast it over these trees and then you're back here 30 or 40 yards to the right because you didn't get it through. Just get it back in play, execute the golf course, plot yourself around, and try to get the lowest score you can.
Yeah.
That is what I try to do anymore. I don't try to overpower a golf course. For one, I can't.
Yeah.
And two, even if I was, you're still trying to plot yourself around.
Sure. Yeah. So you go from driver, and then do you have a fairway wood?
So I have hybrids, but I'm gonna go to this 12.5 degree mini driver.
Okay.
And I love this club.
Uh-huh.
I had it out of my bag after I got fit for this shaft, but I've gone back to it because if this is not going well, this seems to always go well.
Okay.
And it goes pretty much just as far as this because it runs like a son of a gun when it hits. It's hard to explain. I hit it as far as some of the other guys hit their driver. So
okay.
It's a 12.5 degree Callaway.
It's a 3 deep, it looks like.
It's a 2 deep.
Oh, 2 deep. Okay.
And 12.5. So they do have a 3 deep out there.
Yeah.
But that's what that one is. And again, your golf head covers makes kind of like that Firefighter. He sent me that.
Yeah.
But that's nice there.
So that one, I know it has a little bit deeper face, right?
Right.
Than a standard, well, 3 wood
Like
or
3
2
wood,
wood, right?
yeah.
So that's pretty unique. So can you still hit that off the deck?
You can, and I have recently. But hitting either one of them off the deck's a hard task.
Yeah.
You really gotta, kind of hit a little fade with them. But
Yeah.
then,
So you have 2 T clubs basically.
right.
Yeah.
And I used to have a 3 wood. But when we get into my hybrids, I'll explain why I'm where I'm at now. Is like I just explained, if this is not going good, I can hit this one, and it goes just as far most of the time, and I keep it in play better. So which led me, because I used to have a 3 wood,
Yeah.
which led me to now get this 17 degree Generation 4 PXG hybrid,
Okay.
and I can dial it down to 16 to be a 3 wood.
Yeah.
But I keep it at 17 for now. Helps me hit it out of the rough, whereas a 3 wood's a little hard to hit it out of the rough.
Okay.
So that's why I went to this 17 degree, because I had a 20 before that, then the 3 wood.
Yeah.
And then now I still have a 22 that I can, and it's a Gen 4,
Yeah.
that I can dial up to a 23 if I want to, and I haven't done that yet. So I have it at the 22 and 17 because it fills the gap.
Yeah. So are you a tinkerer? Like before you go play and you look, it's like, hey, it's really windy. I'm gonna dial down my hybrid just so I can hit it off the tee a little bit more. Do you do stuff like that, or just basically kind of leave it?
I basically leave it. There might be times, like I said, where I might want to mess with this and make it a 23.
Sure.
And make this a 16 to see if I get any more distance out of it.
Yeah.
But again, at my age, I don't hit them high enough anymore, so maybe I'd want 18 and 22.
Yeah.
And it still would serve like a 5 wood, and I'd hit it pretty far. So.
Yeah. Well, let's get into your shafts too. So we skipped the 2. What is the 2 deep, or that's your 3 hybrid, right?
Yeah. So the 2 deep is just a generic shaft from the Callaway at the time.
Did you get fitted for that one?
No,
yet?
this one was not a fitting. When I bought that, probably 2016, probably. I've
Okay.
had that for that long.
Yeah.
But I will say, talking about fitting, I was out in Phoenix with the foundation. We take first responders to Phoenix in the winter to just get away, and PXG's headquarters is out there.
Yeah.
So when I did a video on my channel getting fit by them, and this AVS green shaft is from Aldila. It's an 85 hybrid stiff, and that's what they fit me for back in 2021 when I videoed this.
Yeah.
So when I just bought these, when you go to their website, you can order, if they have that shaft still, I ordered it per the specs they gave me.
Yeah.
So that's why I went with those shafts on the hybrids, just because that's what I was fit for, a year and a half ago now, but
Okay.
I still feel like they're good for me. So
Yeah. Any plans on getting fit for that 3 wood or that 2 wood kind of spot, or is it just like, hey, if it's not broken, don't fix it type of thing?
So I just had a lesson,
Okay.
and that video is out there on the channel.
Yeah.
And my problem is I come too steep, and it's hard to hit a 3 wood or a 5 iron or a hybrid coming down steep on it, especially a 3 wood and a 5 and 6 iron, according to what he said. And if you go back and watch my videos, you'll see the low smothers with those clubs, or I leave it high and right. So that lesson's teaching me how to flatten it out a little bit so I can hit those clubs. If I get used to doing that move, then I might go back to a 3-wood. And I still have my Generation 1 3-wood that I can use.
Okay, so you can interchange that if you needed to.
If I needed to, yeah. So, I mean, these were such at a good price for PXG with the hero discount, plus they lowered the prices that I just couldn't pass it up to get, 3 years more modern technology.
Sure.
So.
Sure. Yeah. And what did you switch from?
So I had the Gen 1 PXGs.
Okay.
And I've had those since like 2017.
Yeah.
So
PXG
my whole
through and through, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Very cool.
My history with PXG would be, as we get into the irons, I have the Gen 5 irons now, but I started with the Gen 1s. Then I went to the 0211s because as I got older, I thought maybe, one, they're cheaper.
Yeah.
They're the masses can buy those for $99 to $129 a club instead of these, which can be $250 to $300.
Yeah.
So I decided to go to the 0211s, and I liked them. But then the Gen 5s came out, their prices came down, so I bought the Gen 5s. And
okay.
so far, I like them. I'm still getting used to them.
So
but I like the way they look.
The 0311s?
Yeah, these are the 0311 Gen 5s.
Okay. And are they just a little bit less forgiving than the 0211s were?
I would say they are, but the thing what you can do with the 0311s is these are the 0311 Ps. So you got the 0311 Ts, which are the Tour.
The Tours, yeah.
And these are the Ps, which are right in between the Tour and their more forgiving club, which has a bigger head, which is more like the 0211s.
Yeah.
So, yeah, when I got fit at PXG, I did the 0311 Ts and the Ps and the new 0211s, and these won out.
Okay.
But they were in the Gen 3 version at that time. They didn't have the Gen 4 or 5 yet.
Yeah.
So I figured, okay, I'll go with those specs and put them into the Gen 5.
Yeah. And so you go in that, is that 5 to gap, 5 to pitching wedge? What do you have in that?
I got 5 to pitching wedge with these irons.
Okay.
And then I carry 3 Titleist wedges with the 50, 54, and 58 gaps.
Okay. What shafts are in your irons?
All right. So these are right now are the, I need my reader, but the Elevate Tour Stiff Flex.
Okay.
When I've gotten fit at Golf MD or even at PXG, the KBS Tour 120s still are my clubs at 51 years old still.
Yeah.
The KBS during COVID was hard to come by.
Sure.
So I still have my old KBS and my 0211s that I could switch out if I need to, if I didn't hit these good enough. But these, during my research, kind of were similar to the KBS 120s. So these are like 115s, I think. I can't remember the weighting on them. But they're similar to it, and
Sure.
I feel the results are the same.
Yeah.
So
Is it more of a weight thing that you're sensitive to, you think, or more of a flex thing? What do you think that is?
I think it's more of the weight thing. My swing seems to need to feel that weight, maybe. It's just one of those things that I've tried the 100s, the 110s when I got fit at PXG, even at Golf MD. And those KBS tour shafts always won.
Yeah.
With the spec, with the dispersion and the height that you needed. So I always went with them, but these are still functioning pretty good right now.
Okay, awesome. So let's get to your Titleist wedges. So you carry 3 of those, is that what you said?
Yeah, I have the 50,
Okay.
54, and a 58. And these just come with the Vokey.
The Vokey wedge?
Yeah, these are the SM6s. I
Okay.
have SM8s.
Oh, really?
But the irony of that is somebody reached out to me, saw what I was doing through social media, and he works for Titleist, and he sent me 3 SM8s.
Okay.
Well, I've played them, and they just don't work as well as these, so I went back to my old trustees. And I have
Lead tape?
Lead tape on them. For some reason, it just feels good.
Yeah,
and
the
I
weight.
went back to it. I probably need to get the grooves, redone a little bit
Sure.
to help, but that's what I have. That's the gappings I have. Fits perfect for what I need. 58 can be, I can open it if I need to hit it higher.
Yeah.
And it just fits my gapping.
Yeah.
Some people might like the 50, 56, 60. It's just
Sure.
it's just up to them.
Yeah.
52, 56, 60.
Yeah.
Just got to find what works for you.
Yeah, sure. Do you use are you exclusively using one of those Titleist wedges around the green, or are you going to chip with a 9-iron? What's your short game like?
So it depends on obviously the lie.
Yeah.
Got to look at that lie, see how much rough you might have to go over. But I do like to use the 9 or pitching wedge to have the ball run more.
Yeah.
Play the old school Scottish ground game at times.
Sure.
But if you need to go over something, then I've been chipping and pitching with my 54 more because it seems to run out the distance I need, whereas the 58 and 60 seems to stop too soon unless you put force into it. But if you do that, then the ball can run too much.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I like to pitch and chip with the 54 a little bit more now.
Okay. Sounds good. And see that you got the lab putter, right? I was looking at your
Yes.
channel and you did a review on this one. Is this this was the Mez?
This is the
right?
Mez 1, and I have the directed force,
The bigger one?
the bigger one as well. And one reason I like this one better than a bigger one is because it doesn't look as awkward.
Okay.
As you can see there.
Yeah.
It looks more, with these wings, it looks more like, say, what Scotty Cameron puts out.
Yeah.
Or TaylorMade puts out their putters with the wings on it.
Yeah.
Now, these clubs, I like the science behind it, the idea that it's the lie angle balanced.
Yeah.
So the face never goes off line.
Yeah.
There's no torque in your hands, even though we don't feel it when we putt.
Yeah.
I like the science behind it, that it's happening without you feeling it.
Yeah.
So it's harder to get it back to square.
Yeah.
So I am a putter whore, if you want to call it that. And I have these two. I have an arm lock putter that I just bought, and
Okay.
that's going pretty well at this time.
Okay.
But it's just like anything. You got to practice and get your bad habits out of your game.
Yeah.
And I don't do that enough.
Sure.
So ironically, Lab is getting ready to come out with another putter, and it's supposed to be looking like
A bigger version of that
no,
one? Or-
it's a blade.
Oh,
and
okay.
it looks just, they don't show it all the way in their little Instagram video, but it looks like a Scotty Cameron looking, Newport.
So wow, okay.
Yeah, so I could be having another one here, folks.
Okay. So how do you decide between putter to putter? Has that one been in your bag for a little bit, or do you go back between? I think it's is it the B1 or that bigger?
Yeah,
mallet?
it's the Directed Force 2.1.
Yeah, 2.1. There it is.
Yeah, so this grip is an elliptical grip. So I'm still getting used to it, but their reasoning behind it, I guess, is that your hands fit in it better.
Sure.
But the other Directed Force one has more of the natural that we're used to, those type of grips
Yeah.
like you see from Super Stroke or
Yeah.
whatever. So what I'm thinking about doing is going to Golf MD and having them take the shaft out of my Directed Force and swap them.
Okay.
Because I like the grip and I like the shaft that's in that 2.1.
Yeah.
It's a better shaft than that one. But this one I've been playing more. I just like the smaller profile of it, and it's performed well for
Yeah.
me. So if I could just get my bad habits taken out of my putting stroke.
Sure. Tell me about your arm lock experiment. Has that been going well?
It's gone well. It's in one of the release videos
Yeah.
I just did. And then I think that's the only video I have besides the review on it.
Yeah.
And part 2 will be coming out at the National with me making a couple longer putts with it. It's gone pretty good. It's taken my right arm hit out of it. I like to hit at it instead of just stroke through and the ball gets in the way of the stroke. But
Yeah.
it's just like anything. I don't like to practice a lot. I like to get out there and just play golf.
Sure.
And just be. So
Yeah. Well, it's hard to practice, especially the time dedication.
Yes.
That with family and job and your foundation and
Right.
your YouTube channel and all that kind of
100%.
stuff. So, well, tell me anything interesting about your bag.
Well, so it's the USA Sun Mountain bag, but something else that if you want to call it what's in the bag is I have the Sky Caddy SX500, but now most phones have what this has.
Yeah.
You can pull it up on your apps for like the Gin has that app now
Yeah.
where you keep your handicap. But I carry this around, especially when I want to know the front yardages and the back yardages.
Yeah.
We can all say, okay, it's 150 to the middle, but what if the pin is more towards the back? You don't want to go long.
Right.
So you want to know what those yardages are. So that's why I like how you can move this to find those yardages.
Is that also a launch monitor? I know they have some that you could put down
No.
next to the ball.
No, this one's
Okay.
not.
Okay.
And then I have just in this front pocket, I have a laser like anybody else usually does.
Yeah, rangefinder.
Yeah, so this one's from Bushnell.
Does that one have slope?
This one does not have the slope on it, but it has the magnet on it. Let's see if it sticks on any of this. Yep.
That's neat.
So it has that magnet on it, but hopefully you never leave one on the golf cart.
Yeah, that's right.
I know my friends have.
Yep.
But yeah, this is a nice USA golf bag from Sun Mountain. It's got the sturdy handles. It's got the smart straps in the back, so if buddies play a trick on you
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
your bag
they-
goes flying
yep.
off, they can't do that.
That's right.
But no, overall, this bag's probably 3 or 4 years old, and it's
Sturdy.
it's sturdy. It's withheld traveling. So yeah, I'd recommend Sun Mountain's golf bags definitely.
Do you play a certain ball?
I kind of go between balls, but right now I'm playing a lot of the Vices.
Okay.
So like the Pro Soft
Yeah.
Vice, and right now I'm playing the yellow vices just because I still have a lot of those left. So I'm trying to lose as many of them as I can. So if you find them out there, they're mine. So. But I also have used the vice because I buy them for my high school kids and they're cheaper, but I buy the better versions, which are like Pro V1s, and I put my logos on them from the Foundation and Firefighter Golf. So again, if you find those out there here in Kansas City, subscribe to the channel. And
subscribe and you can keep it.
Yeah, right.
If not, bring it back. Okay.
It's free advertising, right?
Yeah, I got it. Well, very cool. Well, thank you so much, Steve, for being on our channel. Really appreciate what you're doing and just the opportunity to interview you, look at your bag, super cool clubs. But yeah, thank you.
Okay, yeah, thanks for contacting me. I'm glad we could get my bag on your channel and what's in it, as well as my driver Denny, and hopefully we'll get you out on the channel.
That's right.
To play this next spring in 2023, and get you out there. We'll film little matches or something. We'll do like par 3 challenge. Have you in it. Those are easy to film, and you can film some other what's in the bag with other firefighters and first responders that play with us. So,
yeah, I would love that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
All right.
Hello and thanks for watching through Steve's video. I really do hope that you will subscribe to Firefighter Golf, start watching his videos and the stuff that he puts out. As you can see, he puts out a lot of great stuff that I intersperse throughout the video so that you could see what you would be getting into if you subscribed. Now, my favorite part of Steve's bag was definitely the Callaway fairway wood. I thought that was such a unique club to have in that position. He didn't carry a normal 3-wood like most golfers would. He carried a 2 deep, which is basically a slightly bigger fairway wood in order to use off the tee. The reason I thought that was so cool was because I know a lot of pro golfers have utilized 2 woods or mini drivers, if you will. I know Phil Mickelson, when he won the US Open, I think it was a year and a half ago now, utilized a tailor-made midi driver to great effectiveness. And I thought that was super cool that trend is carrying over to amateur golfers as well. Now remember, if you're watching this before January 1st, 2023, you still have time to win the 3 Adele wedges that we're giving away on the channel. Go and check out the last video that I'm gonna link here for details on how to enter. As always, thank you so much for watching. We're at 250 subscribers now. I can't believe so many people are interested in the channel. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Have a Merry Christmas.